Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and Happy New Year, everybody. A religious mass was held at the Mary Cathedral for the Greek Orthodox Church in Damascus today on the occasion of the New Year, according to the Christian calendar. It was headed by Patriarch Yohanna, the 10th Yazgi of Antioch and all the Orient for the Greek Orthodox. The Patriarch affirmed that the political solution and acceptance of the other represent the only way out of the crisis in Syria.
Patriarch Yohanna X of Antioch and all the Orient for the Greek Orthodox Church today headed a religious mass with the cooperation of a number of priests at the Mary Cathedral for the Greek Orthodox Church on the occasion of the Christian New Year. In his sermon, the Patriarch affirmed the need to safeguard the spirit of coexistence and fraternity among all the Syrians. The Patriarch called for resorting to political and peaceful means to find a solution to the crisis in Syria. He prayed to God Almighty to liberate the kidnapped and return them safe to their relatives. He also prayed to God Almighty to establish peace in Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Iraq and Egypt, and everywhere on earth.
The Syrian-American Forum has held a popular symposium in the city of Los Angeles in the state of California in the USA with the participation of Syria's permanent representative to the UN, Dr. Bashar al-Ja'fari, and from Damascus via Skype, the Mufti of the Republic, Dr. Ahmed Badruddin Hassoun, and the Patriarchal General Deputy for the Greek Orthodox Church in Syria, Patriarch Luqa al-Khoury. The Syrian-American Forum held another symposium in the American state of Michigan, during which love and deep affection for Syria was unanimously expressed by the participants. The Syrian Arab Army has pursued a terrorist group and eliminated some of its members north of al-Muthallathiyya in Salah ad-Din neighborhood, destroying terrorist vehicles in Dhahrat Abd Rabbo and Haddadin. The Syrian Arab Army also foiled an attempt by terrorists to infiltrate into Al-Iskan neighborhood and another in the direction of Al-Aziza village in Aleppo countryside. In Hama countryside, the Syrian Arab Army also eliminated a terrorist group west of Morak. In Homs, the Syrian Arab Army has targeted terrorist gatherings and snipers in Babhoud, Al-Qusur, Ad-Dar al-Kabira, Al-Khalidiyya and Al-Ghasibiyya. The army intercepted an infiltration attempt by terrorists into Sahrij village in the direction of Jubb al-Jarrah. Syrian Arab Army units also eliminated a number of Jabhat al-Nusra terrorists in Al-Hawara and Uyun in Al-Qusayr suburbs and killed a group of armed men in Muthallath and Nuayman. In Dar'a suburbs, the Syrian Arab Army intercepted an attempt by a terrorist group to attack a military checkpoint in Rajm al-Mashhur, eliminating several members of the group. Syrian citizens in the village of Mas'ada in occupied Golan held a sit-in to protest against the Israeli policy of confiscating tens of dunums of the village's farmland. The participants erected a tent on Mas'ada Awqaf land, vowing to continue until they restore their confiscated land, which is 189 dunums. The residents raised Syrian flags expressing determination to preserve their Arab Syrian identity and offer sacrifices to liberate the occupied land. As the world was celebrating the New Year, Israeli occupation troops broke into Palestinian towns and villages and arrested a number of Palestinians, as many others suffered from suffocation cases because tear gas used by Israeli soldiers in Deir Abu Daif, east of Jenin. Meanwhile, Israeli occupation is planning to construct a 9-story building in Sheikh Jarrah area in the city. Palestinian national parties warned, meanwhile, against the Zionist excavations near Al-Quds Castle, which seek to distort the Islamic and Arab identity of the town. In response to the claims by the embassy of the Israeli entity in Italy of including the city of Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus Christ, in the list of the Israeli cities of tourism, head of the Archbishops of Sebastian for the Greek Orthodox, who is also a member of the Islamic Christian Commission for the Support of Jerusalem and the Holy Sites, Bishop Atallah Hanna, asserted that the city of Bethlehem will remain an Arab-Palestinian city that is featured by the Christian characteristics, because it is home to the most important Christian monument worldwide, which is the Church of the Nativity, as well as the Church of the Resurrection in Jerusalem, in addition to other important religious features and sites. Bishop Hanna explained that the claims of the Israeli embassy is part of the acts of distortion of facts and history, in addition to stealing of land which was and will always remain Palestinian. Bishop Hanna added that the celebrations of Christmas and the New Year remain incomplete, particularly in occupied Palestine and the birthplace of Jesus Christ, Bethlehem, as long as the Israeli occupation continues. In Iraq, Iraqi army was able to have full control on the cities of al-Ramadi and Fallouja following fierce clashes with terrorists who used car bombs and ambushes to destroy the stability of the two cities. Meanwhile, Al-Anbar police announced the arrest of 37 terrorists and 23 fugitives in Al-Anbar desert. In the area of Az-Zaydan in Fallouja, Iraqi police confiscated a warehouse full of weapons and ammunition, including rockets and RPG launchers. The repercussions of the corruption scandal that threatened the government of the Justice and Development Party headed by Erdogan has reflected itself in the campaign of dismissals among police commanders, covering director of the intelligence branch at Mersin Police Command, Ali Ihsan. The Turkish angry public opinion took advantage of the New Year celebrations to escalate the pace of protest in major Turkish cities, calling for Erdogan's resignation to get rid of the corruption that has caused deep social and economic crisis to the country. Rejection of Erdogan's policies further escalated following reports in the Turkish Yacht Daily about his relationship with terrorist Yasin al-Qadi, the founder of Al-Qaeda organization. Qadi's investigation file includes the names of the companies established with the common partnership of Erdogan's son Bilal and terrorist Yasin al-Qadi, in addition to photos and videos proving al-Qadi's use of a presidential car. Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke from the city of Volgograd, saying that there is no justification for committing crimes against civilians, especially women and children. Putin pointed out that the despicable crimes committed in the city were so heinous, whatever the motives of criminals were. Putin's remarks came during a meeting with senior Russian officials in Volgograd, where he requested clarifications on combating terrorism in Russia. Putin also held a closed-door meeting with the head of the Federal Security Service and the Interior Minister to discuss additional measures taken to fight terrorism. Finally, and in our local news, at Dar al-Assad Opera House in Damascus, a cultural activity was held under the title "Keep the War Away from Us," with the participation of the Minister of Education and a number of religious and political figures.
First, we need to touch their needs, and starting from our connection with the society and with our children, with our kids, how they suffer from the situation, from the crisis, from the war. They really need to be protected and to someone listen to them.
كنت فوق بالصف وقت نزل الهاون ونحن كتير شفناه. كنت كتير خايفة بس صار الشيء طول الوقت يعني صرنا انه نزلنا لتحت وخفت كمان يلي عم بيضربونا انه تذكروا انه انتم عم تضربوا اخواتكم.
من اسبوع تقريبا استشهد بطريق حرس طاقم السوق.
يعني نحن بس بنطلب انه بس يعني يهدوا شوي لا يدمرونا بلدنا، نحن ما عملنا شيء.
Our homeland was number for ranked for her peaceful living. That's why our God we thanked. And then what has become of us from the four corners of the earth, bringing in their weak legacy? 500,000 children are left without school.
So we have two aims in this initiative. The first is how we can put all in contact to make this network between the society and the state. What's the responsibility of all parts together, how we can work together to protect ourselves, to protect our state, to protect the civilians, the society, and also to improve the role of the states. And on the level, the second stage is what we need from the foreign countries, what is our message to them, what we really need as a Syrian society, as a Syrian children, where is the right of our children, who can give us the right just to live today, because all rights today, it's became secondary. The first, our priority is the right to live. So this is the message that we need to forward it to the international community.
With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.soi. Now to latest business and market news with Vani Gunjan, but after a short break.